everyone, it's Allison from Fathom 5 Tarot, and I just noticed the cat in the background. That tracks. I'm here to do a type of video that I've never done on YouTube before, and that is an actual tarot card reading. Yesterday I posted a video that I hope will become a series, and in it I talked about, I can put it up in the cards, it's literally yesterday's video, about tarot decks, and what I'd like to do is this little series where I examine what I learned from a particular deck rather than just showing cards. And I talked in that video about how I've been thinking about my place on YouTube and what I have to offer and what I can put out here. And it did strike me this week as odd that I've never done a reading on YouTube. And today I'm going to do one. We'll see how it goes. I do want to talk just for a minute about why I haven't done a reading on YouTube, because there's a few reasons why. Primarily, it's because again, I've said this several times, but in case you're new here, I don't think I'm psychic. I don't put any power in the cards that doesn't already reside within the person who's asking for the reading, like not me. What I have developed an ability to do through just time and practice is like understand what I would call the assigned meanings of cards, but then also be able to interpret the symbolism of the cards and then present that to another person and say, what do you think? And then have a whole conversation about it. I don't predict the future. There's all kinds of things I don't do. I don't do more than I do with tarot, I guess. And I don't want to make any claims about abilities. And I do have a sort of a meditative, like thoughtful video I've been cooking up that I'm going to post one day about looking to other people for spiritual strength, when really, hopefully, I think the best thing that another person can do is reflect your own strength back to you, so that you know it's coming from inside, and then you're not so dependent on another person to bring you those things. Anyway, that's not this video. So I was really worried about, like, what if I do a more generalized reading on YouTube and it's garbage? Because I don't have another person to play off of. I don't have another conversation to have in that way. And what if I'm just like a giant fraud? Like this big sense of imposter syndrome. So I may not even post this. I'm so nervous, you guys. Because I rely so much on that interplay. And even if it's like virtual reading, I go back and forth a lot. Like, I like conversation. That's my jam. That's where it's at for me. Also, I'm not really offering readings to people other than people I already read for. And that's strictly practical. Just pandemic time, my job has like exploded to 5 times its normal size. And same thing with trying to care for the people around me. It's a lot harder during the pandemic. Takes a lot of ingenuity and time and thought, and everybody gets this. I don't need to say all this, but so I didn't want to be like, I'm not selling anything. If you if you watch this and you're like, oh my God, all I want in life is a reading from Allison, then sure, hit me up. You can probably get the same thing elsewhere, but I can't go beyond the people that I'm already reading for. Right now, really, it's too much. Maybe in the new year, as hopefully pandemic things begin to resolve, and there's going to be a slight shift in my job too in the new year that might make things like 2% easier. But it's something I really like to do in the future. And also, I was a bit worried about people at my job seeing this stuff and being like, what a flake. I don't know how much more I want to say about that, except for my job's really intellectual, and I'm really intellectual, and I still like this, so I feel like I can defend it. And anyway, whatever. I was nervous. I'm nervous now. But on the other hand, what do I have to say about the tarot if I don't put my money where my mouth is? And if I just don't give something new a try? I feel like I'm a bit stuck and stagnant. And I have been actually super encouraged by a particular reader. Actually, I'm going to call him out right now, and I'm going to link his channel below. I met him on Instagram. His channel name is Bad Dad Tarot, like BAD space DAD space tarot. Same thing on Instagram and YouTube. When I was first looking for his YouTube channel, I actually had to put quotation marks around Bad Dad Tarot because it seems like there's a lot of, if you just leave without putting quotation marks around terms, then they're just generalized terms. And it seems like there's maybe a lot of tarot readings with the word bad and also with the word dad. So anyway, I'll put the link directly there so you can get there. And I was sort of saying to him earlier this week, like, oh, I don't have the right camera set up. And he's like, you don't need a camera set up. You don't need any of that. So I'm just going to like shuffle and draw cards, and I'll like put them down in front of me, but then I'll hold them up for you. And he actually directed me to another reader who I've just caught a couple of his videos. Oh shoot, I should have looked him up. Wolfman Experience, Wolfstar Experience, something wolfy. I'll figure it out. I'll link him below. And that's what he does. Like he doesn't have a camera pointed at the table. And I was like, nice excuse, Allison. So anyway, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Let's see how it goes. So again, this is a generalized reading. I have no idea who's going to watch this. If it resonates with you, awesome. If it doesn't, I hope you have a great week. So I thought it's Sunday, and maybe I would try to make this a Sunday habit where I do some cards. I'm going to start with a 3 cards spread. I'm going to lay down 3 cards, and then more if I feel like I need them to talk about the energy of the week. I'm going to use, because I'm nervous and I like to be at home, I'm going to use a Rider-Waite-Smith. I was going to use my Centennial, but it's downstairs, and if I leave the computer now, I'll never come back. I'll never get my nerve back. Oh, this is such a good shuffler. This is a German edition of the Albano Waite that I found in a used bookstore. And I really like it because it's not as glossy as the North American version. And I don't mind having, I know these images, so I don't mind having German titles on the cards. And it is a great shuffler, like, yeah. Oh, that one jumped, so you get to stay. So, do a little more shuffle. So I'm thinking about this week, energy that this week is going to bring. I think you want to come out. Oh, you want to come out. Okay. So the 3 cards that came out. Ace of Wands, Death. I know someone on Instagram who's pulled this card 5 times this week. No, like I follow him. High Priestess. Okay. Well, there's a lot of energy in this spread. An ace and 2 majors, and a really interesting, I don't know if I must have pulled these 2 majors before, but I can't actually think of this. So if the energy of this week begins with the Ace of Wands, it's interesting. It immediately seems like my situation where I've decided to take on this new extension of my passion, which is to do readings on my YouTube page. And it's particularly interesting because I was talking yesterday in my video about how any new passion venture, right? So wands, fiery passion, creativity, creation, it's going to inherently feel risky. Because I was talking with the Anna Kay, and you can look that up if you want. But this risk of a new engagement and a new passion I think is really worth taking. And I don't know, so much about this time of year just feels like it's winding down, right? Like just people are so sick of 2020. I am anyway, just sick to death of 2020. People are being ground down in their patience with the pandemic. People are just sort of struggling to get through. Christmas doesn't even feel like normally I feel like December is like this kind of energy because everyone's building up to Christmas. But I don't feel that this year. It's just a real sort of downward motion. So I think this is a message to take this week and make it something passionate and inspiring. And it can be something little, right? But if you've got people who depend on you for like a holiday spirit, even if you're not feeling it, bring that. If there's something that you want to do for yourself that you've been putting off and that's going to spark your creativity and spark your passion and bring it into the world, then do it this week. Now, interestingly, it's followed by the Death card. So if I'm taking this as my theme for the week, then I'm going to look at this as sort of a clarifier. And already I think I want to pull at least one more clarifying card here. And I think this is about, death is obviously figurative a lot of the time, hopefully not literal. But it may be that in order to do this, you have to give up something, let go of something. And again, in this time where we feel, again, I can only speak about my personal experience. Maybe these are just going to be readings for me, you guys. But like, there have been times in the last few weeks where I've been so stressed out that something little will just send me into a tailspin. Like, there was a night last week where, and this is really frustrating, but in the middle of a path I was walking on, I stepped in dog poop that somebody hadn't cleaned up. I'm saying that like I know who it is. I have no idea who it was. I'm sure it was an accident. I'm sure they just forgot. But I was like, the world is ending and I am furious and I had to hold back tears. And it was like all of these other things. But I also realized like I can't carry that frustration. Like that has to just be let go because it was all of the little things on top of the big things. I have to deal with the big things. But there are things you can let go and just like, maybe you're in an argument, like just be wrong, right? Just say, okay, I was wrong, even if you don't believe it, but like, what's the energy that you're trying to keep and hang on to in this time? Instead, make room for this, right? In your emotional sphere, in your emotional world, like that this should come and prioritize and that something, what can you let go of? What can you get out of the emotional real estate in order that this can really fly? And the High Priestess here says to me that maybe this thing will be spiritual, right? Is spiritually, or maybe not spiritual necessarily, but maybe spiritually nourishing, right? Something that's going to trigger your own emotional and spiritual growth. And in that case, you definitely have to get rid of some of this garbage. Like something, this is a very spiritual time of year for many people, whether or not you're a Christian or whether or not you're Jewish, because we're coming into the time of Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. But also this is like, we have to find ways to feed our spirit that we would normally fill in other ways, perhaps at this time of year. Visiting family, which can be a huge, hopefully, spiritual recharger. Not for everybody I know. But what is it that's going to do that? Or if you are suddenly relieved of these pressures, which I am a little bit, I love to see my family, but I'm not hosting anything this year in my home. And that means less cooking, less preparation. So I have more space for this, as long as I'm not hanging on to these things, right? They've aged out, they're past their time, and I need to clear them out of my emotional clutter. So that's what I would say about that. Let's do one more, just for the heck of it. Why not? One more clarifier. Anything else we need to know about this week? Great. Get to it. Get to it. There may be a little bit of indecision about what it is. So I think because this is a clarifier, just expect that your chariot may pull you in a couple of different ways in order to do this. But this is the first card. So pick a lane, because we don't have the emotional energy to dither. Oh, what should I do? What should I do? How should I fill my time? If you do that all week, then your week will come and go and you won't have sparked this flame that you should be sparking right now, according to these lovely cards. So there we have it. And I think I'll post it. My first read. Again, this is just a general throw out to the world. I hope it resonated with you. And if it didn't, that's totally cool. I'd love to see some of your readings or hear what you have to say in the comments. And regardless of whether or not you're going to have an Ace of Wands week, I wish you the very best week and lots of love. Have a great day.